All right, welcome back. Game number 2 underway. With some Dark Shrine shenanigans, won this guy a quick game at number 1. Spawning the bottom right corner of the map is going to be the orange Protoss Astrea.
Never left as the teal Protoss. It's Gemini.
All right, Zombie Grub. We're going to flip the script. Who's the 16th president of the United States?
I don't know.
You don't know Abraham Lincoln? He freed the slaves after all. He was only the badass ass in fiction, and he was assassinated.
Did you actually Google?
No, actually, that's the only one I know because it was like on recess back in the.
Who's the first one?
I have
the
no
second
idea.
one.
I don't.
You see, you know the first one? You were real?
I just know 16 because it's Abraham Lincoln. And
oh god.
First off, if you guys haven't seen it, Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter was one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm not even trolling.
My mom really wanted to see that movie, and I did not.
It was so okay. It's one of those movies where like you have to embrace the badness of it to really enjoy it. It's got a lot of action and it's cool, but yo, it's Abraham Lincoln hunting vampires. Like seriously, come on.
Yeah, you're right. Our presidents are a lot cooler than whatever you had.
Jean Chrétien liked women a lot. I guess I don't know.
Is that supposed to be something?
I don't even know who our current prime minister is. I want to see Stephen Harper.
Are you
question mark? Like.
I feel like that's an important thing.
As much as I get wrapped up in politics, I never get wrapped up in my own. Here's Canada in a nutshell for the last 10 years, right? Like Quebec wants to secede, it wants to be its own state. Oh, that didn't happen. Never mind. Just kidding. The end.
Southern Virginia wants to become its own state.
I've heard Texas does too, or something weird like that.
Yeah, Texas is always all like, let's not be part of the United States, you know, like the lone state and everything. And it's like, you can go ahead. We don't want you.
But they've got the guns, Zombie Grub. You need them.
I don't want them. Isn't Olivia from Texas? That always blows my mind.
Oh, she is? Yeah, that's right. The Axiom manager. Holy moly.
Oh, it's not a cannon for Breeze. It's like a AK-47.
Why would it be an AK? That's not even like an American gun, is it? I don't know anything about guns, by the way.
What does it matter?
All I know is that in the media, every pistol that you ever see is a Glock. That's... Some guy made a Reddit post about that. Just because people are
just
dumb.
Waving around.
Yeah. So it's like the guy who found the earbuds, and they're like, oh, I think I found some rubber bullets on the ground or something.
What? I don't know about this one.
There's a reporter who like reported on rubber bullets being fired. It's just a pair of earplugs.
That's gross.
Okay, openings as far as this game goes, though. Sorry, we're talking about a lot of nonsense, guys. Head up, sorry, because we've been up all freaking day casting. We started at 10 a.m. We had about an hour-ish, an hour and a half break between the European and North American qualifiers. We're coming up around 9 o'clock now, so it's been a long time, and I do apologize. But that's no excuse for skipping out the fact that there's a Twilight Council away for Astrea, and nothing close to that for Gemini. Actually, is the third gate coming? Okay, I was going to say, like, he's not chronoing this. What's he doing?
Waiting for a robo?
Well, he's putting a lot of money into the stalkers. That's why I'm sitting with a big question mark on. Like, typically, if you see this, you know, it's not the sentry first.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be Blink for Astrea. You know, DT's last time, going for Blink now. He is dedicating okay, that's actually only a 3-gate Blink, so he should be getting a robo after this, unless he decides he doesn't need to. Which this militia corps might just get enough scouting to tell him that.
Forces an overcharge, gets a probe for it.
That seems unnecessary.
It definitely seems unnecessary, but he traded an overcharge for a recall, so...
I think he's good. He's doing pretty good about that. Now, if he placed a pile on this on the map, I really think that he could get a cancel on this Nexus. He probably couldn't break the main, but definitely a cancel. Or at least a lot of damage done to it. No pylon. Oh, you don't need to just place down a pylon. You can place one a little bit closer as well, and he can start warping in. Now, the 2 stalkers are going to be here. Maybe he's afraid that there's like a gateway he didn't scout or something. I'm not sure. But just 3 warp-ins at a time. Goes up to 6 stalkers with Blink, and he can, well, he can make Gemini sweat for sure. I mean, so many of these are sentries, some of these units are sentries, that it's just not a scary army.
So, Gemini's opener, like, I really thought we were going to see, like, a third, like, this third gateway come down way earlier. I thought it was going to be, like, some weird stalker all-in. I mean, 3-gate all-ins are not something that have lost games in the best fight. I've seen them win against players like Huck and stuff. So I can't help but wonder, like, if he was just really scared of like fast CTs or something. It's the sentries that really throw me for a loop in this. Like, not the lack of a third gateway, the robo coming down is fine. It's the 3 early sentries that just got me sitting here with a big question mark above my head.
I think it is, especially because he didn't go back. He did use that cannon. I think he was like trying to block off potential DTs from walking up the ramp. He didn't want to move the units, but now these sentries they're not very useful at all.
No.
Maybe they could force field like the sentry or the blink stalkers in, but then they'd blink out. They're blink stalkers.
Truthfully, hallucinations would have been way more effective than anything. I mean, he lost the sentry for nothing.
Yeah, a little bit, but he's gonna hold on. You know, with the immortal out, the opportunity for Astrea to do any damage to the Nexus has gone. He can still harass, of course. He has an observer. He has stalkers. They'll run around all the time. But Astrea, it's his own. This Forge has his own robo. You can start producing out of immortals, I assume. There you go.
We just got like gun schooled in chat, by the way. AK Avtomat Kalashnikov. Okay. Reliable death apparently or something. That's cool. TIL.
Oh, okay.
Today I learned.
Awesome. You're so little about guns, you don't even know.
It's a big Glock. Alright, so he gets about 8 probes in that run by. That's really not too bad. Also denies mining because he had to transfer to the natural. For Astrea's sake, I mean, this is a pretty good way to use that blink. Again, we've talked about this so many times in PvP. I'm sure everybody knows about it at this point. But I mean, the rule of blink is the longer the game goes on, the less effective it's going to be. So, trying to get use out of it while he can, and transitions into Colossus behind this, as well as the Warp Prism. You know, I'm wondering, it'd be really cool, we always kind of joke around about Colossus drops, and I got to see it like once in Blue Moon the other day, but against someone who's got no Blink, who's got no Stargate, like, it actually wouldn't be too bad of an idea. It'd be really hard to catch.
What? Is Gemini, like, oh, okay. I was wondering about the lack of robotics bay, considering how faster Astrea's was, but does throw that down. He'll just be the tiniest bit behind on that Colossus count. He's got 2 Immortals versus just 1. Usually, really, we see them always go up to 3. Immortals just end up being really useful. If Colossus can be targeted down, Immortals are a little harder to do so, and they add a big punch, but they do die off as a charge will come in.
Yo, okay, I'm sorry. I've been holding this one back, but like, does anyone else like remember the N64 game, like Jet Force Gemini? Like, that's all I can think of every time we say this guy's name.
Oh, I love that game. I remember playing that at, like, my grandma's house.
Dude, N64 like some of the sickest games, like for real.
Yeah, it was probably that
Dreamcast. Yeah, thank you. Please.
Whoa.
Nice. I just did a high five for us. It's like the first time in 1,000 casts we like did that, man. Whoa.
This is historic, yo.
Agreeing on something like alone is weird, but doing it at the same time, it's like, what is happening?
Did you say that we were twins?
No, stop. That's done for. We got over this a long time ago. Hallucinated Phoenix actually gets a full scout in the main season. There's just really nothing here to stop him. If you want to move in with the Immortals and the Sentries, I mean, it's a numbers game. And Astrea has more numbers. More Sentries, more Stalkers. He can force through that ramp, attract everything at the bottom, and cut things out of the main. Doesn't quite get the Sentries in range for this, though, so he's going to initiate a recall. What the f... It's like, I'm coming in! I'm gonna get you! Just kidding!
You wish you could do that in real life.
Trolled! Okay, so as weird, as awkward as that attack was, I did reveal what Gemini has, and the third base was something you did have to get trap on. So both of them have their third bases on the way, not that crazy of a deal. I mean, PvP, if we don't see it end on 2 bases, it usually goes to 3 or 4, but that Warp Prism does unload some Zealots in the main. Warping for Warping, but denied mining yet again.
Very nice there. It's now down by, I mean, only 8 probes. Not too bad.
Kill Zealot! Oh!
He's gonna regret that later. He's gonna lose by 1 Zealot.
Watch! That's all it's gonna kill, is gonna charge into the Colossus, it'll jump on top of a Sentry. I don't know, but it's gonna hurt. I'm just gonna keep this selected until it dies. I'm sorry guys, you wanna see resources lost? Go find a better stream! Oh wait, just kidding, you can't. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm trolling the news now.
That was really cruel. He's not right and said it. We can troll this tournament, so just deal with it.
It's like we've been so professional all year and it's December, you know, fuck it, you know, just the tie is off.
I don't One time you had one shot and you turned into the least professional person.
A what?
Least professional person?
Oh, least professional. I thought you called me Louise Preston. Like, I was like, what the fuck?
Oh god, I'm gonna do so poorly on my Korean test tomorrow.
I feel bad for everybody watching. This was such a good tournament up until about 2 best-of-3s ago. I just snapped, and I'm not coming back, and I'm sorry.
They would love to just turn this off and watch the SSL qualifiers, but the damn stream keeps jumping games at the best moment. They can't win. There's no good streams.
That sucks. Yeah, I can't watch it. I can't check it out because we're streaming stuff. But okay, so Colossus count's getting pretty high. Patrice is double pumping them right now, and we've talked about this, but we don't get to see it that often. Like when you play Colossus versus Colossus, there is kind of this soft cap where diminishing returns start coming into effect, and after you've got about 6, 7, I mean, really, Colossus become less and less effective. They don't have the surface area. They can't connect. The only time they're gonna work is if there's like 100 zealots coming at them, and that's about it.
If you have 8 Colossus, you have nothing to protect them. The zealots like just get on top of them. It's no big deal. So that's why you start adding in.
Look how that zealot's selected, by the way.
Oh.
This guy too. I want to click on him and see which health he has, but I can't do it.
10.
10? Oh, thank you.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna bring up Jet Force Gemini again, and then I was like, no, reel it back in. Reel it in.
Yo, of all the N64 games, like Harvest Moon was probably my favorite. Donkey Kong Country or DK64.
I really liked Pilot. Like, what was it?
Pilot Wings.
Pilot Wing 64?
Something like that, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I love that. Shooting guys out of cannons. What was the point of that game? Get points, I guess?
There's
I
so
don't
many,
know.
like Mega Man Legends, like so many bad, dumb games that were just awesome because you were a kid.
I'm pretty sure Pilot Wing 64 was a good game.
Well, big unload here to the main. He's going to focus his cannon down really quick. Big warping on top of this, too. So if Gemini decides to withdraw from the natural third base rather than go for this, and he is going to have to try to defend his DTs with this. This means there's going to be an opening for Astrea to move in for the real fight.
Oh, there better be an observer with that
Colossus.
There better be an observer in that fight. Oh, my God.
No, he's pumping one out right now. Oh, man. Whoever's observer is this not at home right now. These are Templar. Okay, there we go. Pops out, cleans this up, Warp Prism dies as well. But now Astrea's moving, and he's going to have this really nice position where Gemini's going to have to come down the ramp into his concave. Gemini's going to have to come down into his own Colossus, but oh, Astrea wasn't paying attention. Those Colossus were so overextended and exposed and all alone, and he didn't kill them.
I thought he was going to try and end the game right there, but I guess he's going to macro it up. Got a 4th base, got the upgrades, getting a couple of Immortals to really round out his composition.
Yo, the Zealot's still alive, by the way.
Well, that's what's really important. Oh, they both started striking at the same time.
He's becoming an executor. I'm trying to find the Stargates without clicking on them. There he goes, Strands. And Gemini's is in his main. Boom.
Alright. Astrea, you know, you could take a decent fight.
I think, okay, it's not so much about army supply so much as I'm looking at those probes. I'm looking at that 4th base. Like Astrea, they're probably going to wipe each other out unless someone gets a really sick angle for this attack. The difference is I think Astrea bounces back much stronger.
Yeah. Gemini does invest into a second Stargate, but...
Oh, Tempest for Astrea. Interesting.
Gemini...
There we go. There's the
Gemini not to go?
I mean, you kind of have to go 3 Stargates when you go for Tempest. I mean, 2 you can kind of make work if you're defending, but yeah, 3's kind of what you want if you're going to be pumping across the map.
Okay, so they are both going to go for the Fleet Beacon. Alright, the world's making sense. And this is getting to really... a very stereotypical late game.
Well, I'm to be honest with you, I'm a little bit shocked that it is going this way, though. I thought Astrea had a really nice opening there with that Warp Prism attack. I thought for sure he would at least gut the 3rd from probes, much less kill whatever comes to defend it, but neither happened.
I thought so. I thought there was a couple opportunities for Astrea to, you know, do game end and game edge or just end the game, but he's gonna play it out long, very long. A couple of tappets on the way.
That's a long, stupid range. Shooting the Nexus like that. Looks like Gemini set up his own Warp Prism while this is going on. Both players actually with Warp Prisms once again. These cannons sadly don't cover much of anything useful. Awkward.
Oh well.
Oh, but a recall, that's one way to deal with it.
Well, he's starting to get to that point where he's maxed out, so he can't warp into the fence.
The Zealot died! Oh no, where, when, why? Oh, son of a gun. Okay, well, my stubbornness is relieved.
Oh. Astrea getting the faster Tempest count, looks like. 3 on the way as opposed to 2. I can't believe they're going to let each other get up to this point.
Right, so Tempest versus Tempest could technically go on all night. We could have a really stupidly long PvP, but because Astrea's a base ahead of his opponent, if he can keep Gemini from ever securing a 4th of his own, Astrea will win this game, despite the Tempest standoff.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be Archons that ultimately win this at the end of the day, but we'll talk on that more, because both players have to wipe out each other's ground army first. Big Pilot Snipes going up here with these Dark Templar, though.
It hasn't Gemini invested into a 4th?
Well, he tried to, right? But Astrea shut it down.
Yeah, but you gotta keep trying. It's 22 minutes. You gotta get a 4th.
Well, the race for the upgrades is underway. Astrea's got better upgrades in every regard. He's going to have the armor plating for the ships, which I actually don't think really are going to affect the Tempest shots that much. Just better for taking the Stalker Fire and perhaps the Archon Blast, but the Tempest, 6 of them moving into the top right corner of the map, going to sit up there most likely just try and deny a 4th as long as they can, but really the 4th is coming down here in the middle. Yeah. By the way, everyone who's brought up StarCraft 64 in chat, please don't.
I played that game. I did not realize the control groups were on the yellow pad buttons.
There was just so many things about that game that infuriated me trying to play it, because I had played like Brood War and I was a big campaign guy. Like I never got in the competitive scene, right? But
I didn't really play the PC. For me, whenever a game was actually had really bad controls or whatever, I thought it was always me. I was like, oh, I'm bad at this game. That like the design of the game was crappy. So that Oracle's a cool idea. It does not get the revelation off.
Well, it did actually on the Tempest.
Oh, it did.
If you want to open your eyes.
It looks like
it does actually look like part of the Tempest. I'll give you that. Like, I was gonna troll a little bit harder until I realized that as well. I give the Colossus a pretty little hat. To go with that mustache. If you guys didn't know, Colossus have giant mustaches.
Now I do.
Stalkers also have tiny little T-Rex arms.
Yeah, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Avatar would have problems with that.
Alright, so Astrea actually taking like a terrible Tempest fight here, and the problem is with how effective Tempest are versus Colossus, he knows to back away from this to completely yield the base.
Yeah, I'm surprised how poorly that went.
3 more Stargates? What? He's gonna be 6 Tempests at a time? Does he really have the money for this?
No.
No. Not after warping in this many Zealots up north. Holy cow, there's like 12 Zealots, 16 Zealots warped in.
Gemini really doesn't have enough, yeah, you can warp in this many Zealots. 4 Zealots, and then he's kind of capped.
And the DT is nice. Gonna force the recall. This actually buys him a lot of really crucially needed time. This Warp Prism is not gonna die. Unlike Astrea, who actually has given away every Warp Prism he sends in.
Yeah. You get just someone attack and win. 6 Tempests, 4 Colossus for Gemini, 3 Tempests, 7 Colossus for Astrea.
You know,
I don't know why they have Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm wondering if like Void Rays might be a little bit better in this situation. Like not just pure Void Rays, but mixing them in. Obviously, there's a little bit of fear of the Stalkers picking them off with Clumpy on top of the Archons, but I mean the Tempests aren't going to deal the bonus damage. The attack speed's so slow. If he could connect them, well, that's cool. He's hallucinating them. If he could connect them to the army, it would work out pretty darn well.
If one thing I have learned,
this is fake. This is so sick.
Is that Void Rays are really good.
Yeah. Spooked. Doesn't realize they're not dealing damage.
Well, he turned around to attack them anyways, so they're about to just disappear.
The Oracle actually dived in for Revelation. What? Okay. Okay. Mothership on the way here for Astrea. I don't know that I like this choice. It's going to get sniped by the Tempest so quickly. But Astrea's often just say, I'll take the ground fight. If he wins the ground fight, he can warp in Blink Stalkers and warp in Archons all day and take out the Tempest from that way. But firing now with the sky, he's going to try and take that Tempest fight. It's a little bit awkward because everything here is a really slow cooldown and a really low recoil. But looks like the Colossus are winning out here for Astrea, just barely. Knocks down the rocks, kind of a cool move, but has to back away because he doesn't have the layering to protect his army any longer. And oddly enough, the Tempests seem to pretty much cancel each other out.
Zealots from the back for Astrea will clear up Gemini's army, though. A complete wraparound.
Yeah. Nice warping. Good charge. We see the supply dip so heavily down to 35. The thing is, it's kind of like watching Zerglings versus someone who opens with Phoenix, right? Like you don't have the energy, you don't have the actual units, the attack speed to deal with anything on the ground in such large numbers. The Tempest attack too slow. If he just invests in like charge lots and Archons from here to the end of the game, I don't think Astrea needs another Colossus.
Gemini not really using his gate or his bank so far. Not even on Tempest? No more Tempest? There we go. There's a couple more Tempests on the way. So it's those heavy-duty Archons. And another Stargate. You only need so many Stargates, guys.
What? Okay, so Astrea's got 6. Gemini's coming up on 4. That's cute.
3 or 4 is okay. 6 is overkill.
I think the problem for Gemini, though, is he's a little bit behind when it comes to money, or was up to this point, which is why he couldn't afford those extra Stargates. But as he's given this time to catch up 10 gateways, rebuilding, what the fuck? He's just going to be able to warp in crazy units. But it's going to exhaust all of his bank in one big go.
Yeah. And they're both still on 4 bases, not sure why. Well, I know Astrea isn't with money. Oh, Gemini just gets right on top of the army, but that means they're right on top of the Archons. You know Tempests have range, right?
Look at the upgrade difference, though. It's really affected the Zealot fights here, making this so one-sided. Just cannons, there's Colossus, sure, but the armor upgrades for Astrea on the ground are just working fantastic. Does have to start backing away here. Gives a little too much away with the Archons, perhaps. He's going to keep diving in, but I don't know that I like this choice.
Tempests do such surprisingly little damage. I mean, they're power up of a big ball of energy, and they just like boink, boink, boink. That's even the new sound effect, the Carbot animation sound effect. Anyways, Gemini's still trying to stick to it. I mean, mass air always seems to be the perfect end game. It's not so far for him, and he is far away from the end game, not being able to get maxed out.
Well, Kane was worried that he would sleep through this series, but I think he's gonna get to wake up.
Yeah.
I swear to God, though, because I know that it could go this way. I'm gonna mention, like, if he makes a single Swarm Host and Astrea makes a single Colossus, disqualified. Just disqualified. No, that's not really gonna be the case, guys. But I am looking forward to that series. I mean, for everything that we've seen in this game, this should be Astrea's game. I mean, he's doing a lot more multitasking. He's doing a lot more things like DT, snucking around the map. I mean, if he were to lose, I would be shocked. But at the same time, it'd be really cool for Gemini to be in this position, bring it back, and actually get a victory? Question mark.
It'd be cool. Unlikely. Down in supply, down in probes. Final fight, maybe? Target fire on the Tempests. Gonna win out for Astrea.
Actually, if he kills that one observer, yeah, that's it. Can't see any of the Colossus. Can't see anything on the ground. The mothership's gonna win. Yeah. GG, good luck. It's going to be called a ridiculous series, but a really cool one at the end. Astrea will take the series 2-0 and move on to fight against Kane for that last qualifier slot.